And it's tonight's guest, video guru Michael Nesmith, Colonel Klink from Hogan's Heroes fame.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Jim. Michael Nesmith is coming up with us next. We'll take a look at some real neat video music. So stay with us.
Be watching. David.
Our next guest was part of one of the first marriages of rock and roll and video. We're talking about the Monkees, but you won't see Michael Nesmith milking that 1960s nostalgia craze. He's much too busy.
Well, now, wait a minute, Bill. Not so fast.
Okay.
It depends on how big the craze gets.
Well, you may...
It could be a big craze.
Let me go right back.
No to
last train to Clarksville.
Yeah, sure. He called me up the other day. He says, you want to get back together? I said, no, not yet.
Who did that?
Peter.
Really? To get it back together?
Go good. We'll
Okay, anyway. We'll talk about this thing a little later on. Not my suit, but what's in my pocket. Michael now heads Pacific Arts Productions. He's opening up a whole new field of video records and feature films, including the Emmy Award-winning Elephant Parts and soon-to-be-released Time Rider. Michael Nesmith is who we're talking about.
Thank you so much, Bill.
And here
it's
you
certainly
are.
a pleasure to be on the show.
Thank you. In front of this large audience.
Hills with the lights and back up.
Hollywood Hills back there that occasionally black out if somebody pulls a plug over there.
You mean this is fake?
Don't tell the world. No, that's all real. People actually live back there. They're all watching right now. You are one of the, the cameras are here. You're one of the pioneers of video music.
Thank you.
Aren't you? Because now that's, we got the music TV, the 24-hour-a-day channel. And when did you first get involved in trying to put all that together?
Years ago, 1976, when I decided that I wasn't going to make any more audio records. I was going to make video records, and I started off doing promotional clips for my songs. One was Rio. I did it. The European market wanted it, and it turned the song into a hit, and I thought, you know, this is really going to be it's a great art form. I'm going to work with this. And then I put together for Warner Amex, the other channel that we don't mention on this cable network, is that I put together 56 episodes of a show called Pop Clips, which ultimately turned into MTV.
Right, that was the video disc jockey type thing.
That's right.
They would run the clips of songs. And that now is a major part of music. We've had different guests on here that are in the music business.
And they all bring their clips, right?
Absolutely. You can't do a record anymore unless you put together a video piece.
I think in the future it's not going to be long before you're not going to have an audio-only record at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. I think that you're just...
Video discs, video
cassettes, and so on and so forth. You know, you're going to watch music like you listen to it. Now, it's not to say you're not going to hear it from time to time, you know, but it's...
What do you think that'll do to the concert business of all of a sudden everybody that can get their favorite group on a disc that they can watch at home?
Well, I don't know. If history's any lesson, it'll just make it boom. Because, you know, there seems to be a desire to see... people who have been on film or on television in person.
Do they make video discs, the machine jet with stereo sound?
Oh yeah,
they do.
Boy, they sure do. As a matter of fact, Sony's just come out with a disc that's the single, not a disc. Excuse me. Oh Lord, forgive me, Sony. Please don't write. Okay. Sony has just come out with a cassette, which they're marketing as a video single. And what they've done is they put the sound. I mean, this is all kind of techno babble, but they put the sound in the lines of the picture. And so it gives you this incredible sound quality. It's better than anything you got today. It's really amazing.
You understand the line stuff? I don't know. No.
Not at all?
We just watch it.
Well, you see... no, I'll put you all right to sleep. I can get you... We can go right under there with this stuff.
What about Elephant Parts? Tell us a little bit of background of that.
Well, after I'd done Rio, and then I did Cruise, and I'm in cahoots with a guy named William Deere. He was on the show 4 or 5 months ago. And in his previous incarnation, and in the show's previous incarnation, and Bill and I did Cruisin', and we did Rio, and we did some comedy bits for Saturday Night Live and for Fridays, and just fooling around. Realized we had 15 minutes of program, so I thought, well, you know, it might be fun to let my next record be a video record. So I put together 45 more minutes of programming, which is comedy bits and some music and stuff, and put it out as Elephant Parts. And it sold real well. It's a big, it's a good-sized little business for me, and I won the first video Grammy with it. Knock wood.
That's great. Yeah. First video Grammy. That's a new category they have.
Brand new. They invented it.
Rio is part of Elephant Parts, and we have a clip of that.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. And are you going to play that now,
Bill?
Yes,
we are.
Oh, that's so.
What a clever lead-in that was.
It was great.
Here's Michael Nesmith and Rio from Elephant Park.
I'm hearing the light from the window. I'm seeing the sound of the sea. My feet have come loose from their moorings. I'm feeling quite wonderfully free. And I think I will travel to Rio, using the music for flight. There's nothing I know of in Rio, but it's something to do with the night. It's only a whimsical notion to fly down to Rio tonight. But I probably won't fly down to Rio. But then again, I wish we could run the whole thing. Well, so do I, Bill. I'm so disappointed.
He's leaving. That was Michael Nesmith.
I'm just kidding.
But we can get to see it in Elephant Parts.
That's right.
You, as Jim said during the break, or while the song was on, that you have to constantly stay up on the equipment, because every day there's something new coming out. No, that's not what Jim said. He has to buy my car. I'm just kidding. Just a joke. Nice guy. See, I'm going to a commercial. See, I'm still the boss of this show. You do have to stay up with the technology. You're right, and it was a serious comment, and it deserves a serious, respectful answer. Yes, you do. And plus, being the performer on it makes it twice as hard. Well, actually, the performance is a cakewalk in a way. I mean, you're singing and you're playing and you're just having a good time. You just turn the camera on. We'll come back and talk some more with you. Don't leave. Okay. Okay? Good. All righty. More with Michael Nesmith and Jim Brolin after this. I'm here. Let me take a look at it.
Why hit me, Billy Bob? Oh, my God.
All right, look. It may be bad. Here.
Oh, hurry, do something.
Light on this bullet. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, I can see Mama coming. Mama!
That's it. Blew him up a little too hard.
We have got more installments going on there. I mean, there's going to be a lot more.
That's great.
Do you write
Sky Pilot?
Write the comedy bits too? And
well, I sort of exist as a member of a collaborative sort of team. Bill Martin is a good friend of mine, and Bill Deere, and Bill Deere directs. Bill Martin does a lot of writing. This is for Elephant Parts, I mean. And they're just some people, I have a little company, and we just all get together and write this stuff and make it up and do it. Didn't Bill Deere at one point show you a film he did and ask you to score it, and you said you didn't like it and didn't want to do it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, see, that's how you met him? That's the way Bill and I met. He called me up, and he said, I'm out from Detroit, which is an immediate, and I said, yeah, and he said, and I want you to, I've made a film at home. It's a motorcycle, and I'd like you to look at it and score it. And I said, well, okay, fine, bring it over. And he brought it over, and I said, Bill, this is the worst film I've ever seen in my life. This is terrible. He says, I know. It really is bad, but will you score it anyway? And I said, well, yeah, sure, why not? So you did it? So I scored it, and that's the beginning of the relationship. Where's the film? Is it
Well, it's called
anywhere?
Northville Cemetery Massacre. If you want to just rush out and see it, it might be out in some little place.
How do you get yourself really involved in scoring something you don't like?
Well, I liked Bill.
Yeah.
And, it's the whole business is partners,
Yeah. So, well, apparently the two of you are getting along great. Now you got another project out, Time Rider.
Yeah, Time Rider was one of our loony ideas. We made it up in a line in the going to see the movies, and I said, well, we ought to come up with a film that we want to go see. I mean, I can't remember what we were going to go see. I think we wanted to be seeing it, but I said, what should we do? And then we just sort of made. By the time we got through the line to buy the ticket, we had made up Time Rider, and we sat down and wrote it, and I paid for the movie. I went out, we did it. I produced it, and I just used my own money to do it, and then there it was. And now it's out, on an unsuspecting public.
And guess
fostered,
what?
as it were.
Guess what? We have a clip from that.
Oh, I'm so surprised. What an amazing thing. I'm glad to have. So glad. Would you like to see this, Jim?
I'd love to.
How about you, Bill?
That's part of the show.
Let's roll a little piece of this right
in
now.
my shorts here. Here's a clip from Time Rider.
And he jumped up and down on it. Up and down. Yeah, he jumped up and down on it and kicked it. Right there.
You're gonna have to do better than that. I don't think you like you, Reed.
What are you telling me? You gotta kick it harder. You kicked it real hard. That's right. That's right. Kick it again.
You got it.
Harder. Kick it.
Stand back. Be careful.
It's a different kind of motorcycle movie.
Well, yeah. See what happens is this motorcycle rider gets sent back in time, unknowing to him in the Old West, and then the guys steal his motorcycle. This is just sort of the beginning of it.
The end of the motorcycle.
Yeah, you see, this is what we made up in the line on the way getting popcorn.
It's just great. And when's it going to be released?
It'll be out on the 21st of January, which is just a few weeks, isn't it? Just a few weeks. And so I'd like everybody to please go see it. It's about $4.50, $5 a ticket.
But it's well worth it, right?
It's really worth it. It's a sensational movie, and that's why I'm here. No kidding. Go see this movie, and I'm not kidding.
Plug something.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I lost my head. You don't really have to go see.
Let's plug another product. Let's plug Michael Nesmith's mom's product. They do believe this. This is liquid paper. Can we get a shot of that?
Yeah, get a
This camera isn't working tonight, is it? This.
Which one?
Every secretary in the world is now using, never made mistakes before, but now they can, and they can get rid of them with this stuff here. Your mother invented this.
My mother invented
and
it.
made herself a millionaire because of it.
A multimillionaire, rest her soul. She died a couple of years ago, but she was a solo divorced woman, and I was the only child, and we were growing up in Texas, and she came home one day when I was about 12 years old, and she said, I've got this idea. And she began it in her kitchen, and she built it all of her life, and finally sold it about a year or so before she died to Gillette for about $50 million.
It's incredible.
Man. Isn't that something?
Yeah,
bless your heart, Ma.
Does she mix it up in the kitchen?
When I was 15, I invented the stuff that makes the water blue in your toilet. I didn't know what to do with it. I made two working models, one with a squirt gun and one with a syringe.
Did you really?
So, yeah, so all our toilets had blue. Keep this a secret. But how would you market anything like that?
The original Tidy Bowl man.
Nobody wants this stuff.
Hard to believe.
Well, this stuff will make your toilet water white.
Or at least cover the chips.
Right, cover the chips on the sink as well.
Sandy Kenyon is with us when we come back with all the entertainment news.
I'm leaving. Her name was Rodan, and she lived in the ocean off Japan.
In sports, in hockey action.
Sandy Kenyon, our entertainment correspondent, is with us, and he has news about the MGM Grand Hotel fire of last year.
That's right. Actually, 2 years ago. It's very interesting, actually. They once had $2 billion worth of suits filed against the MGM Grand Hotel by those people who had either lost loved ones in that tragedy. After all, 85 died, or those who had been injured, or those who had had their property injured. That has now been settled, at least as far as the hotel is concerned, for about $100 million. The hotel has already paid out $25 million, and an agreement reached today meant that $75 million will be paid off. So a substantial settlement to the people. There were about 415 suits pending in all for various kinds of damages, and that appears, as far as the hotel is concerned, to be settled.
Did you read that? That was the most amazing thing. You just were absolutely flat. You were, off the top of
No,
your
I
head?
did do that from the top of my... I have some trusty notes here that
Let me ask you a question. Who got the biggest chunk?
Actually, there is a committee of all of the people who pooled their resources, and that will be decided later. It will be decided independently.
I mean,
of
is
the
there
hotel.
like going to be one person or two people that's going to get like $6 million or something?
There probably won't be that much of an inequity in the actual settlements, but in fact, what has happened is that there has been a pool, and there's a committee of people who have been negotiating with the hotel who represent these 415 suits.
$100 million, that's a pretty good savings off a $2 bill, isn't it?
There's a very important point to make here, though, and that is that there are suits still pending against contractors, against public agencies, against manufacturers of various equipment, and those will go forward. But the suit against the hotel will not.
See, Michael, he's only got 3 minutes, and if you keep asking...
I'm sorry, excuse me. Well, what else is new, Sandy?
What about, Jim wanted to know about Sherry Lansing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was wondering about that. She's got a deal over at Paramount now, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Tell me about it, Sandy.
What happened was, well, okay, Jim, Sherry Lansing has a deal with Paramount with Stanley Jaffe, who was, ironically, once the president of Paramount. They're going to produce warm, human-type pictures like Kramer versus Kramer and Taps, which they worked on together. You once heard the expression in Hollywood, Bill, that if you want to send a message, call Western Union. Well, these two people have been very successful with doing message, human-type pictures without a sight of robots or anything like that.
Okay, so there, that answers your
Are
question.
they going to bring in other producers under them, or are they going to handle it all?
They're going to be semi-autonomous, and they're going to have a situation where they'll be able to be like the Ladd Company, where there are...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Time is up.
The watch says that your time is up, Sandy.
It was interesting, too.
I bet.
We were riveted the entire time.
You're going to have to go. We're going to have to take a break.
Oh, gee,
I'm sorry.
Also,
And you know, I wanted to know who was going to take Sherry Lansing's place, but I guess we don't find that out. I've got a plane to catch. So long, guys.
Goodbye, Michael.
Jim is
Goodbye.
going kayaking, so he's got to leave. Sandy's time's up, and
I'll leave your name at the door.
okay. Hi, Werner Klemperer is next with us to talk a little bit about Hogan's Heroes and some other things he's doing these days. And thanks for being with us, Jim.
Thank you.
Sandy, we'll see you tomorrow.
You cut me off, but that's okay.
No, we're all still friends.
One of the biggest nostalgia events.